I am Esther Yishawan. I'm now live at Singapore.
Okay, Esther, Yu Sheiwu. Okay. And welcome to the masterclass. We will play Schubert number 4, Impromptu in A flat minor from Opus 90. So let's get to this great piece, and maybe we'll play it through, and then I will give you my suggestions. So whenever you're ready to start. Thank you. Thank you. I would like to, first of all, make sure you turn on original sound in the Zoom, so we hear you well. Just to ask you some background, I know Singapore from before because I was there actually 3 years ago. In 2018, I taught master classes and I participated in the festival called Piano Island, and it's a beautiful country. I also taught master class at Josephine Koch Piano Academy. May I ask how old are you and who do you study with over there? Uh, may I ask you how old are you and who you study with there in Singapore?
I actually working as a music instructor.
Oh, okay, okay. So this piece is one of the milestones and one of the most beautiful into Schubert repertoire. So let's start talking about it from the very beginning. And it's last one of the 4 impromptus. very important to remember about Schubert as a personality and what he's famous for. The first one, of course, to know is when he was writing any music. There are two main foundations about him. The first one, it should be sort of as a dance. So there is a rhythmic quality always remains here. The second thing is, of course, the singing part. Maybe in this piece it's not as evident as, for example, in number 3, in this opposite. Over there, the melody is a key importance, the previous one. But here you can also insert the melody and you can still hear it as a main guiding principle. If you just play the first notes of each. So this is the main thing. And then if you add additional notes to it, if you complete the phrase with 4/16, you will get the same melody, but this time it's the first the starting notes of each group, plus you will eventually arrive to this chord. And then another important thing to know is, of course, you need to have a very good sense of articulation and diction, but not articulation where your fingers actually lead the keyboard. That's wrong, because that would be more in a Carl Churny sense. It needs to be precise articulation, but without going and raising fingers too much, just a little and kind of light. So you should basically do what you need to do is like kind of a butterfly, motion. Yes, so you basically draw a semicircle across each of them, but without, that should not be rude, this should be very delicate. And the change from 1, 2, from the finger you change, 1, 2, 1, 2. It needs to be almost seamless, like there is no change, like you play with the same finger. Now, when you get to these chords over here, they need a different meaning because the texture changes and you need to play it slightly bit more like with a nostalgia, like something is missing from before and finally you gain it, right? Like you're trying to achieve something. Esther, I'm sorry, can you make sure your settings are correct because sometimes I barely hear you. Can you make sure you have original sound on? Actually, what device are you using, the lap computer or cell phone?
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. I want to make sure when you play. Yeah. Yes, yes. Maybe not, yes, maybe not so much dividing each phrase, but more like one unit. Okay. Yes, and now a bit more careful on your change because I don't want to see, but more. You see, the trick is your other finger has to be already on the note. Your finger has to be already on the note, and then what you do, you play some very lightly, like you sliding it off, and then another finger hits it. Yes, already better. Now make sure that when you actually get to this part, you don't go to here because you're returning into white keys area. I want you to go across black keys, like you stay here. Yes, and a little bit more clear. Yes, Esther, I think your hand actually needs to stay slightly up because I see your elbow is slightly bit down. Keep it up so if you have it more free. You see where my elbow? Yes, yes, better. Now keep it leggera so the sound is actually soft, and make sure you're using 2-4-2-1, 2-4-2-1 all the time. And it's slightly bit on the surface. You see, your hand sometimes falls down. It has to stay in the same position, your wrist. And then up on. Yes, better. And now make sure you change your pedal for the last note. Change pedal and rest. Yes, and then don't stay on the note, but take it off. Hands go off, and pedal goes off. Yes, but okay, good. But at the same time, do not. If you change pedal, make sure that previous chord is changed to this because I don't want to hear previous chord. Yes. Okay, now try first phrase. Yes. Yes, better, much better, bravo. And already you may choose to play this slide, but what I need to hear is this rest. Rest in between. Yes. Yes, and not so loud, light. Yes. You need to relax your wrists for the light sound to come out, because you can actually play with the same intensity like this. And I want you to do like this, more flexible, entire, yeah. Yes, but softer. Yes. Okay, now let's try to play two first phrases, and we keep this rhythmic. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, make sure you play the right notes. Let's check this. Esther, let's check. It's actually E flat, B flat, F flat. Okay, this is fine. Let's check your left hand. Yes. No. G natural, G natural. I think you're playing this. It should be just a G. That's right. Good. Now play it more charming. Yes. I need slightly bit more emphasis on the top voice. Slightly bit more emphasis on the top voice and much less articulation for the bottom. You basically should let your fingers stay on the keys. And diminuendo. Yes. And continue, please. Go on. Play this. Continue, yeah. Okay. Sorry. I have to stop you here. Please find the different colors for all these harmonies, because this is a different. First, we had dramatic one. Now we have much more kindly one. And now you go to C major. Yes. And then next one, please.
Do I need to change the pedal when play this?
Absolutely. When you hold one chord, and it's the same chord like this one, you don't need to, but when it starts to change, you do. Change, change, and change here. Yeah, but check if notes in the left. I hear some wrong notes there. No. G flat in the left hand. Okay, now both hands. Right, and continue. Now you go here, and it's one pedal. Yes, make sure I hear every note much more even and taka 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 taka. Like somebody. Yeah, this can be more clear, Esther, like this. Much more clear, like you play with softness. Is actually much more chord because it's a minor. So make sure you play subito piano, much softer. Same tempo, just much softer. Yeah, Esther, sorry, I need to stop you here. Just listen to this part. You need to change pedal, of course, on every chord, but they are different. First, you start very gentle. And show me melody in the top voice, because it's not enough. Yes, the second thing is like this. You shouldn't play every note, pam, 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 but create more like a bigger phrase out of it. And this is more dramatic third time. And piano. Much better. Okay, and you can go slightly bit more free with this because you play everything so much in tempo. Go like this. Slightly move the tempo forward. Change pedal. Right? Much better. Just make sure when you play this section, you change pedal. And now, the same thing you play as at the beginning, but in major. And now you need to play this same way, but with much more fun. You know, Esther, I'm sorry to stop you. Make sure last note, you really change pedal well, because the previous harmony stays and the sound is really bad. Yes, better. Even more clean, because now you're not really taking it off completely. What I would do, I would play a very short pedal and show this rest, because rest is very important. I would take off pedal and rest like this. Listen. Change and here. Bravo. Much better. Completely different piece. And now, can I hear more like a dance? You know, imagine like you're dancing and you counting in 3. 1. Let's play only. Let me play for your left hand here. 1, 2, 1, 2. You have to feel yourself motion like you do in a dance. Yes, like this, but much more elegant, like this. Soft, don't land on this chord, but much more like land on a pillow. To piano, softer. Same thing as you do, but much softer. Yes, and what is written when you play this phrase second time? It's written crescendo, right? So first time you should play it very soft. You know what I do? I actually play it without pedal at all. First time. And second time with the pedal. But mine is very light because I take off my hand. I don't let them sink and I don't let them stay on the keyboard. Elegant. Perfect. Right. And now, third time when it repeats. So third time when it repeats, what do we have on the left hand? We have melody. So very important to play right hand, super soft. think you're misunderstanding. I'm sorry, I think you misunderstood me. Here, normal articulation. Later, when the melody comes in the left hand, this is what you need to show. And here you play your right hand. The touch should be like you want to play pizzicato almost on a string instrument, except this is legato. But light. Right. And you need to show your left hand like you play it on a cello, much more legato and bring it out. B flat. Right. Yes, and you actually technically making one basic mistake here. I want to show you what you do wrong with the left hand, because you're holding this note too long with your pinky. You don't need to. The pedal will do it. Let it go soon and prepare the next note. You see? D flat, D flat. Yes. And now with much more rhythmic, please. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Okay, and now same thing as you did, but much softer, like you whisper. Second time you will play louder. Contrast. Right. How big is this crescendo? Is it like very small or big? It's rather long, right? So we need to start soft and gradually make this crescendo, right? From here. Sorry, over here. And diminuendo, right? It's very long, so you need to start soft. Left hand piano, right hand two piano. Much better, Esther. There is a rule for you to remember that left hand is the Mr. Rhythm here. You must hear it rhythmically, and right hand must follow the left hand. So you don't have, you listen to this rhythm. That's why this accent is so important on the second beat. Yes, and then on time. Yes, better. Esther, much better. I just want to share with you one useful touch for the right hand. When you play this, you should not start playing this straight from the keyboard. Give it some space. So you actually play here. Drop your hand to the second finger, to the note, and then continue playing legato. Now on the last note, your wrist off. Take off by this. Like it's one single motion throughout this legato. So don't divide because you don't. I want it to be a single line. Yes, but give it some space. You have to sort of drop your hand on the finger, a little bit like this. Wrist work, you see, up and down. It's all your wrist. But more freely drop, like you drop it on your hand. Yes, I think something like this, yeah. And then I want to show you pedal at this D flat major. This is one pedal for 6 notes. Now, when you go to this section, you should start changing pedal. Change, 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 change. And then you change on every chord. Yes, I hear this very beautiful. I want to hear every note here. Make sure it's clear. Especially your third finger is not always accurate. Yes, Esther, I actually have to start a masterclass on the other machine. Would you give me 2 minutes? I will come back and finish the lesson. Just practice, all right? Thank you. I'll be back shortly. Esther, my apologies. I just had to start one more master class, but let's finish. We have a few minutes. So it sounds a lot better. Can I hear this D flat major? Okay, Esther, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me stop you. It sounds significantly better, much better, bravo. Now, a bit, can I hear this melody more like a song? Remember, Schubert is a composer who wrote 600 Lieder, 600 German song, and it's always in his art. So when you play this right hand, it's think yourself not as a pianist, but more like a vocalist. Bring it out, and then the secondary voice much softer than 2-1. I want to hear your top fingers 3, 4, 5, and 2-1 much softer. Yes, very good. Now make sure that you change your pedal on every quarter. Change, 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 change. It's absolutely. Right. Now, I want to recommend you exercise which you will use when you practice this. You really should play these notes with more velocity and sound, the top notes. And the bottom notes you should play with a very little articulation, like you stay close to the key. See the difference? No, softer secondary voice, please. Like this is like you whisper. Right, much better. And then soft ending of phrase. And now soft piano again, left hand staccato, and you land to the here, but softly. Yes, Esther, two things. Can you use some wrist because you play stays the same, but I would like it to move up. Take off first note, land into the chord off. Yes, exactly. Very good. Now we have some elegance. Now put it with the right hand. And very clear every note. Yes, Esther, when you play the second four notes, sometimes it sounds not so clear. So yes, the fourth and not heavy, but light articulation. Light. Like a water rippling almost. Yes, wonderful. Now put it together. Put the hands together. Crescendo. Left hand. Continue. But more rhythmic. Very well. Put it together with the right hand. Yes, but don't rush here. Same tempo. And you change pedal on tempo. Esther, sorry, you need to raise slightly bit more your finger number 4 because it's not enough articulation. Okay, now play with the left hand and make a crescendo. Stand up. Yes, and there is one motion I want to share with you, a secret motion which can help you here. Take a look. It's when you play, don't use just the fingers, but use your wrist to go back and left and right. Like this. Yeah, it should help you, definitely. Now, just a few words about the middle section. One word is really play, put down sound in the chords. They must be very much softer and light. It's all about just the melody and the bass. Everything in the middle you play off the key. Like a tennis ball that is jumping. Play off the key. And maybe not every note, but phrase it. Try. Yes, yes. You know, it's more like I wouldn't say it's a chord. It's a feeling and it's a vibration. It's something that stays inside your heart. Still piano. And now you start your crescendo. Yes, but two things. First of all, change every time the pedal on every, you change pedal according to your melody. You have note in the melody, pedal change. It's very simple. This one thing. And then move the tempo slightly bit more. You're not used to play the chord slide, but you really need to play. You know, it's like you jump on a trampoline, back and forth. That's how it goes. And then tempo slightly bit move faster. And softer. Something like this, more flexible. Pedal change. Esther, bravo. It's much better sounding now. You know, I just want to give you one addition to this. You seemingly don't know what to do when you repeat these 5 chords, when the melody stays still. What you do, you build it up to the next note. It's not just, but address them to next melody note. You don't make a crescendo, but you phrase it towards the melody note. No crescendo, no, just phrase. Don't forget about pedal changes. It's still a bit dirty pedal. And then when you phrase, I did not say get louder. Stay piano. And address in soft sound too. Esther, I like your tempo very much, but when you play second line, keep it the same tempo here too, slightly bit faster. This is one pedal actually, but one pedal with a question mark because you need to really play soft this part, the inner voices. So it's really like proportional. You pull it back and forth. And accompaniment is really soft. You really played it loud and your pedal, that's why it seems like wrong. Tempo, tempo, tempo. Tempo, tempo. Make sure it's universal. This is, you know, this place, I always feel like I have a rose smell. It's a beautiful flower with a very nice smell. Different, more sweet. It's almost like Ave Maria by Schubert. You know, Esther, you know, I like very much how you played last two measures, huh? Because your chords were soft and they followed the melody. Yeah, it has to be suspended in the air, this chord. No, no, good. Start soft. Middle notes. You see how I play very close and soft. Soft. This is already soft. Close to the keys. You don't put your fingers far away. You put them almost at the keys. So the fingers go with the keys. They don't detach from the keys. Yes, you know, you don't have to. Yes, and no slow down, just diminuendo. Yes. Okay, then you will come back the same, and this will conclude today's lesson. I actually gave you a few minutes because we had a break, and I hope you enjoyed the lesson. You started to play much, much better. You're a very talented person. It's just, I think, you sometimes need to have a correct direction where your musical ideas go. So if you like a lesson, I welcome you to come back and to start